please download and purchase the Good Vibes Only album at keithsharif.com. If you would like to hear the full song to our intro, check out track 5 on the album now. Good Vibes Only. Album out now on all streaming platforms.
Baby, you're my coat. She got me feeling like a dope fiend. I'm addicted to a black queen, baby, you're my coat.
Welcome back to Love Life After. I'm Christelle.
And I'm Brittany. And today we have a very special guest, and we're going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jasmine. I am originally from New Jersey and have been down in North Carolina for a total of 10 years. Kind of on and off. I work in healthcare. I'm a physician assistant in family medicine.
Cool.
And that's me.
All right, that's dope. Dope. All right, y'all. So, how has everyone's week been?
You go first.
I can go. Yeah. I mean, actually, this has been a light week. It hasn't been that bad. It's actually been pretty nice. I don't like the weather outside, but otherwise,
me neither.
Yeah, but otherwise, work has been pretty steady. It hasn't been overwhelming.
That's good.
It has been pretty much every week except for this one. So it's been chill. I've been enjoying myself, just relaxing.
Yeah, that's what's up. What about you, Krista?
I don't want to say it's the same because I've been saying it's the same. It's like the same routine for the past 6 months. So, it's the work. And between yesterday and today, well, a couple of days ago, I wasn't feeling well, so I had to cancel my clients because I didn't know what it was. So I was like, I'm not trying to give nothing, whatever I had. Yeah. But a day after, it just it went away. I didn't know what it was.
You probably just needed to rest.
Yes. And you know what? That's crazy you say that. I do need rest, but my client, that's what I was telling you earlier, she literally just made me see something in a better light. She said, honey, you need to sit down. You need to chill. God's trying to tell you that you need to sit your butt down.
Yes.
Listen to this, y'all. So today did I tell you about my car? We can't find the key. I don't know if I told you.
What, to the Ultima?
To the, not the Ultima, the Honda.
Oh, really?
For
a long time.
A while now. So it's been sitting. So today, Keith took it, towed it to Honda to get a new key. It was like, it's about time. Do you know where they found the key?
It was under the mat?
No, it was in the ignition.
No. Oh, my God. So wait, did they still charge? Y'all still had to pay for towing and all that?
No, because we have AAA.
Okay, perfect.
But the craziest thing is I looked like, when I say I cleaned that car out, but none of us stopped to look in there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I was telling my client, she said, God's trying to tell y'all something.
Yeah.
So
sit down and relax.
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
So, but that just caught me up. I had to share that with y'all because she was preaching to me. She said, girl, you need to chill.
Sit down.
Yeah.
We've been in the midst of this pandemic going on 7 months. And it's been kind of the same routine with me too. Both of our kids doing virtual learning. It's just been an emotional roller coaster this week for me. But work has been okay. Sometimes, things switch up my priorities and stuff, but I'm able to deal with it and manage it. But I'm on a flexible work arrangement where I try to come in a little later, make sure the kids is straight and stuff like that. So I'm just taking it one day at a time.
Right.
That's all we could do.
That is all we can do. Especially in the midst of a pandemic, that's all you can do.
All you can do. Can't control
so.
certain things, and I'm just trying to trying to stay positive, just trying to do what I got to do, and making sure I stay healthy, so I'm bringing things back home to my children.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. That's right.
So that's been my week.
Yeah.
So let's get into some icebreaker questions. I have a few fun questions. If a movie was being made of your life and you could choose the actor/actress to play you, who would you choose and why? You can go ahead, Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I would say Kerry Washington.
Oh,
okay.
I love Kerry Washington. I'd like to say that I can have an ounce of her beauty. She's gorgeous. She plays really, she's versatile. She plays really strong Black female characters. And I just appreciate how she's smart, but humble and, down to earth. So
Yeah.
I really
That was a good one.
I like Carrie because she stayed to herself. You won't ever see her on social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very seems like she's very private.
She is,
Yeah,
right.
I
yes,
love it.
It's good. That's what I like about her too.
That's
I don't need
good.
to know that much about her.
Right.
Be on the screen, do your thing.
Exactly.
Right.
Stand up for what's right, and then go home and have fun with your family.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a really good question, but if I have to, maybe Jada.
Oh, Jada.
Jada a little feisty. But you a little feisty too.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. I mean, what like the whole what is it? The blended family dynamic.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So that's
Dang,
That's good.
So yeah.
That's kind of hard for me. I don't know.
Good.
The only person that, to be honest, that come to mind for me is like Kyla Pratt or Ashanti. I know
Kyla
Ashanti
Pratt.
didn't play in a lot of movies, but she a Libra, and that's my sister in my head. So I'm like, so she got all
She understands you already.
like she understands me already. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, I don't know. I feel like she'll embody my mannerisms and stuff like that. So
I love that. Ashanti,
yeah.
I would have never even thought of her.
Me neither.
I love Ashanti. Let me tell you something. I had every one of her CDs.
Not Beyonce.
Nah, not Beyonce. Beyonce, she a Virgo. She just... No offense to y'all Virgos. I love y'all. But I'm just saying, Beyonce seems like she high maintenance. I'm not really high maintenance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not high maintenance at all.
But
yeah, that's cool. All right. Let's see. What's another one? Dang, what was it? Oh, no. If you can instantly become an expert in something, what would it be?
An expert?
An expert?
Like instantly? Without like having to do
any research or any schooling.
Man, Brittany,
I got one.
What is it?
Stocks.
Oh, that's good.
That's a good
yes.
one.
Yo.
What made you think of that?
Because I've been actually trying to learn how to invest and stuff.
Yeah.
I started on Cash App.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But then I downloaded like Robinhood and
I have
Google.
Robinhood.
Yeah, I have Robinhood too.
So yeah, if I can really like be an expert, it will be in stocks, man. Because people be really making bank.
All the money.
Right.
Yes, and be like a day trader on the side. Apparently, I just found out my cousin was doing that for a little bit, and she made all this money, and then so she just didn't have to work.
Binary.
I know I'm trying to be an expert.
I'm gonna look it up.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to take that one.
Okay.
I think I'll take yours too, because
stocks, man. I'm telling you, that's where it's at, man.
Yeah,
and the Bitcoin and stuff,
right?
Like,
yeah, if I could be it on.
I'm gonna try to find what I was talking about because they've been messaging me about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do this. This girl keep messaging me every day about binary trading.
Have you heard about that? I've never heard of it.
Yeah, so apparently it's supposed to be something that's big in the UK, but it's getting like more involved here. And then she's been asking me every day, depending on who you trade with.
So is it kind of like a susu?
No,
it's different.
It's different than a susu. Because when she sent me a whole link. So I just started like, but then I was like, okay, she's on Instagram, like sending me these stuff. So I started researching, and I seen that she know a lot of people that done that, and then I was like, nah, I'm good. But but if I was big, if I was an expert in it, then I would have jumped on it.
I know that's right.
Absolutely.
But I'm not.
Yeah, me neither.
What did you say? What did you say?
You going with
stocks.
Right.
Everybody, all right. So if we could be expert in anything instantly, it would be stocks.
Yes. Hand down.
Right. Like for real. Like that's the move.
Yeah, it is.
That's the move.
You have any more questions, Britt?
Nah. What you got here? Oh, you don't want to do that one?
Which one? The
hidden talent.
Oh, my
hidden talents. Anybody have any hidden talents?
I don't have any hidden talent. I think like everybody know all my talent. Do you?
I don't really have. I don't really know if I have a hidden. I honestly, I low key think I could sing. I know I can.
Oh my God, Brittany. Okay, so if y'all listen to the last episode, Brittany, she really thought she could sing. Like literally, when Keith heard it. He was like, yo, turn that off. He said, yo, did she really?
Listen.
He said, turn that off.
Tell my uncle that he need to invest in me and get me some singing lessons then, so that way I can be on his next album. Okay? Tell him that.
All right, I'll let him know.
I like that. You're like, you're moving out.
Oh, God, that's funny.
That's good.
What about you, Jazz? Any hidden talent?
It's not really a talent. It's actually kind of gross. I probably shouldn't advertise this. But I'm pretty good at like... Oh, it's so gross. At like aiming my like gum when I'm spitting out that I can like hit targets like far away. So
Are you serious?
it's really random.
That is a hidden talent.
Right.
It's really random. I've lost
trying
practice, but like, yeah, who does that? Who figures that out?
Oh, do you know? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you know what Jasmine what we like to do that she likes to do too?
What?
People watching.
Yeah,
watching too. I love people watching.
I said we're not weird after all.
We're not.
No.
Yeah, I figure other people do that though. I mean, to be honest, it's actually fun to watch.
Right, that's what I said.
Like, completely entertaining. It's the
is.
best thing ever. It's free.
It really is. Right.
You can do it anywhere.
Right. No, but for real.
Right.
I had a good time enjoying people in Tampa.
Oh, I bet that
And
was
Ybor City.
Ybor City. That's a fun place.
You've been to Tampa before?
Uh-huh.
Did you love it when you went?
Yes, I really enjoyed it. So I went once when I was younger, but then my cousin lives down there now, like outside of Tampa. So when we went back, I was like, I could deal with Tampa. This is cute.
Okay. Y'all, I loved it. I loved it.
It had a little flavor. Like if you go outside of Tampa, though, it's definitely like really whitewashed.
Yeah, like Clearwater Beach and stuff like that. Yeah.
So that's where my cousin was living, and I'm like, oh, she's like, I know, we ain't staying here going. But okay.
Yeah. And did you see like all the strip clubs? It's ridiculous how many strip clubs it is.
It's popping down there.
Okay, like when me and my husband, we literally like we walked out our hotel. It was a strip club here, strip club here, one across the street, one down that block, one down that block. Yeah. And it was so many like celebrities and stuff there. They was dropping like Bentleys and Maybachs. I was like, oh, this is lit.
And I can't be there.
Right.
Like,
so I'm definitely going back.
You should go back. It's a good time.
Definitely going back.
It's a great time.
I love it.
But anyway, so Jasmine, thank you for coming. Talk about what that you do in your community.
Okay. So yeah, I'm a physician assistant. And so I work in family medicine. So that's seeing everywhere from newborns to, 100 and 1,000 years old. And it's primary care. However old you want to be, we'll see you. And it's primary care. So you kind of have to know, you have to know a lot about a lot. And I'm new to the game, so I've only been doing it for a year. Okay. So I'm a newer PA. So this past year has really been me getting my feet wet and just really kind of solidifying my place like in my practice and in the patient population that we have and getting my own patient load and all that stuff. But now that it's officially been a year, I realize what the big need to have Black female providers, medical providers, it just in general. So, and I've seen even the trend of patients. We have a fairly large Black population at our clinic, which is nice. But I just definitely see the transition like, oh, we didn't realize there was another Black provider here. Right. And, like, I want to come see you now, which I'm like, that's great. And I completely understand why. Right. And no shade to anybody else, but I also have been trying to find more Black providers as well. There's not a lot of access to, depending on where you live. So I just see the need, like how it's humbling and exciting and frustrating. There's so many feelings about like seeing the need for more Black medical providers out there and all the different specialties. And so I've kind of had a stirring about like healthcare equality has always been important to me and healthcare access. And so just now being in a position where I kind of have a little bit more power, quote unquote, where I'm making decisions, I am just really excited to be able to engage my community more in that way. And so COVID kind of put a damper on things and shut down a lot of stuff that I was trying to start being a part of organizations and then everything just kind of stopped. So now that people are looking to just re-engage again, I'm excited to find or be able to be a part of organizations that engage the community and give back to my community in that way. And then otherwise I'm heavily involved in my church. And so I serve a lot there in the children's ministry and then do whatever outreach projects that they have kind of pop up as I can. So
how is that going now with COVID?
With outreach. So they actually have a really big push that's pretty much what church has been outreach. And so they've been having kind of a select projects that you can participate in throughout pretty much most of COVID. And so just kind of signing up signing up and being a part of it, which has been nice. So if I can go, I try to go.
That's what's up. The reason why I say wow is because like, usually when people get into like nursing or the physician assistant, they usually do like pediatric or geriatric. Like they either work with
like one patient population.
So the fact that you see like a range of like newborns up into like geriatric, I'm like, that's impressive, because it's like you really have to know a whole lot.
Girl, it's a steep learning curve. That's why I was like, I have to focus, because I literally go in for a room and see a newborn and then go see someone that's 87 with like all these issues.
Right there, yeah, that's impressive, because it's like, dang, that's like you said, that's a steep learning curve, because it's like, dang, like I'm dealing with this gentle baby. Well, I mean, older people are gentle too. But it's just like it's a different range of issues and emotions that you have to deal with. So
it can be taxing, but it's good. I mean, I literally saw like a whole family today. It was so cute. I saw mom, dad, and their kids, and everyone needed a physical. So I just got to sit in the room and talk to everyone.
All at once.
Which it can be a lot, but I enjoy. That's nice to be able to treat a whole family and be able to walk with them through all their ups and downs of life and be a part of that journey. So that's why I enjoy it. Yeah.
So I have a question. You can answer it, or you don't have to. How do you feel about the fact that, like, you know, since our children are doing virtual learning now, and then they are like really forcing us to get these kids vaccinated, even though they're not in the classroom with other children? Like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you think that it's like absolute necessary for children that are not in class, like instruction, to like really get vaccinated right now?
And you mean just like their regular scheduled vaccinations?
Their regular like scheduled vaccinations and the flu vaccine, because like now they are, you need to get vaccinated. Like,
as a physician.
Yeah. So my official medical stance would be vaccinate.
Yes. Right.
I understand the reservation though with parents with like, do I really, like, how necessary is this? Part of me is like, I just like how methodical it is. So it's like, it's time for your vaccine. So that's what we're going to do, and take the thought out of it. So for that point, it's like, sure, it's time. So just do it. And like, and so you don't have to think about it. And I just think too, the benefit of vaccination is the fact that all these vaccines were made for a reason. People died from these diseases, and that's why vaccines were made. And I think it really just depends on the child's like health, like what other health issues they may have, and also the exposure of the parents. So it's just because the kids might not be at home. If the parents out in the community, then you bring home whatever you're around back to your children too. So I mean, I understand like why you might delay, and I really try not to like hound parents down. I mean, like I do believe in vaccinations. I might personally like have my kids do like an extended, if my future children, to have them do like a different vaccine schedule than what I would suggest. I thought about that. And but I also see the importance of why vaccines were created, and the risk that has been out there in like kind of the popular culture has not been scientifically proven. So I can't get with any of the research that I've seen that people have about. I can't get with it. I try. I listen. I read. I listen. I try. But I'm like that's
right. I mean, and even like in my job, I mean, we do the MMR, measles.
Measles, mumps, rubella.
So, and like the chickenpox vaccine, varicella. I had chickenpox when I was a kid. And I still have spots. I still have spots on my skin. So, you know, my kids were vaccinated because the vaccine, it came out before my children were born, and I did vaccinate them. Because I was like, okay, like, you know, I had this as a child. Let me go ahead and get my kids vaccinated. And I mean, of course, they didn't get chickenpox. So I'm grateful for that. But it's just like, I just feel like it's a lot of pressure to put on parents and to like hound them, and then, you know, to judge certain parents. And to be honest, I was judgmental at one point. I was like, why her baby ain't been to the doctor and she ain't vaccinate her kids? Because it's a lot of things like, you know, vaccinations could cause autism and make children ill. I don't really know how true it is. But I can understand now, it's like that I'm a little wiser, and I'm like, dang, I'm looking at both perspectives, and I can understand why some parents don't do it.
Yes, I definitely can. The biggest thing I say about like people who aren't vaccinating their children is the parent currently is benefiting from herd immunity with vaccinations, and not herd immunity that the current administration is talking about, but the actual true definition of immunity. And we've eliminated a lot of these viruses and diseases because most people have been vaccinated. And so for me, I think it's almost hypocritical in a way. And once again, I'm not a parent, so I don't want to be judgmental. And I'm coming from more of a medical side where it's like you've grown up with the benefit of being in a space where you don't have to be exposed to any of these things.
Right.
Now your children can be exposed to these things because so many people are not getting vaccinated.
Right.
So you didn't, it's not like you grew up with like you made it through the struggle of possibly getting measles, mumps, or rubella. Right. Like you, so like now are kind of playing a toss-up game with your child's life, and I understand you're making what you think is the best decision for your child. Also know that you benefited from a world that you didn't have to deal with those struggles. Right. So therefore you are now possibly creating different issues that your child can come across. And while you want to be as healthy as possible, things happen and viruses get spread, pandemics happen.
Coronavirus.
But I also like if it's difficult for you to get your child to the doctor right now, then fine. Like if your schedule's going to be off a little bit.
Yeah. Because I haven't got my son, his appointment, his physical was back in May, but we didn't really go anywhere. Yeah. But they've called me like at least 4 times already.
I mean, and I'll be very honest with you. Half of it is just they're trying to get bodies in the door because volume's down.
Right. That's what I figured. So after the 4th time, I said, well, I'm not comfortable bringing him now.
Right now. Right.
Yeah. So they was like, okay, well, just when you're ready, give us a call.
Oh, yeah, and that's one thing I have a concern about because my pediatrician haven't even called and checked on my kids, and I'm like, that's really weird because she's typically on top of things like that. And then I don't know, me and her kind of had a little rift because I'm not really keen. I don't get the flu vaccine because I've never did. I had the flu before, back in 2014 when I first started working at my job. I caught the flu, and then my children, they had the flu earlier this year, and it's crazy because my sister had a baby, and I was like, all right, well, we're around a baby, let's go ahead and get vaccinated. I got my kids a flu vaccine. They broke out in webs all over their face and all over their body. I was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm not doing it. So then earlier this year, I think it was like last year, she basically made a comment like, oh, that's why you should have got them back. I said, don't tell me what I need to do with my kids. Like, I'm not getting them vaccinated. You're not giving them a flu shot. Right. Like, that's just what it is. Yeah. Because when I bought them in there, she's like, yeah, well, they have the flu. And I was like, okay, well, to be honest, I thought my children I knew they didn't feel good, but I have twins. Oh. So.
Twin boys.
One got sick, and then the other one was like, yeah, mommy, I don't feel good. But I was thinking he was just doing the twin thing. Right. I was like, boy. It's like, I was like, don't feel good. Right. I was like, boy, you capping. I was like, I'm going to take you to the doctor, though. And then I felt extremely bad because he had a temperature, and he tested positive for influenza A. And basically, like, I didn't even know he was ill, but it's just like my children, they athletes, they play sports, so their immunity and stuff like that. Like, he said he didn't feel good, but he didn't look like he was sick.
Right, exactly.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to take my kids home and nurse them back to health. My children, they don't really like taking medicine, so I had to chop them up fruit, give them soup, gave them some sea moss. Yeah. And they was fine. Like, you know what
She sell them, actually.
Yeah, I mix sea moss.
So tell me about this.
Sea moss is like an algae of the sea. You know how they basically like catch it. Like it's like farmers that go and catch the sea moss, and they basically sun dry it. Sometimes it's like, it has like a odor because it comes from the ocean. Yeah. So you got to really cleanse it. Right. And you got to soak it and blend it.
What are its benefits? I like alternative stuff too.
It has a whole lot of benefits. It has basically 92 minerals out of the 102 minerals that our body needs in our body. So basically it helps with like thyroid issues. It helps with like sexual stamina. It helps with mucus buildup. It helps with your bones, your joints, it helps with any and everything you could think. My boys had eczema, had a flare up on their hands. I put sea moss on it for 2 weeks, went away.
Oh, I love it.
Went away.
I'm really excited. Okay, I'm gonna have to get some sea moss.
Yes, I can make some for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but
listen, I'm not to work in medicine. I definitely don't. I do other things before I do.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm the same way because at my job I get discounted medicines and like discounted birth control and all that type stuff. But I'll try to really be health conscious, and I really try not to use medicine unless I really absolutely have to.
Right. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
my children, I tried juicing. I know juicing it has some benefits, but it don't have a lot of fiber in it. So
it's more for just the vitamins.
The vitamins, So like when the boys were sick, I just basically made them tea with sea moss and gave them elderberry shots, and they were fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited right now. Like I can't wait to go home. I'm gonna be like
sea moss, right?
Basically like the rocks and stuff in the ocean, like the sea moss, the algae, it basically like gravitates the rocks, the minerals in the rocks. It gravitates on the algae.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Okay.
And then they fish it.
So if y'all need any, make sure y'all hit up Brittany because she makes them.
I make sea moss and I infuse it with like cinnamon and nutmeg and elderberry.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Like I said, disclaimer. It does not taste good, okay? Because it does come from the ocean.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but I have a weak stomach, so I can't take it straight up.
And I can drink apple cider vinegar straight. It's not good for your teeth.
I can do, but the sea moss is a little different.
I mean, the way you make them with the cinnamon, I can't really taste anything.
Yeah, my husband says it too, but I can. Be like,
it's good for you. It's good for you. Just take it.
But yeah, sea moss is good. I mean, I wouldn't recommend taking it every single day because you want to like take it and like, you know, like probably like 7 days, take up to 2 teaspoons a day, take a break from it. I use it as facial. I'll exfoliate my body and then soak my skin in it. It's very good.
Oh my gosh, there's so much.
So many good benefits.
Yes.
So many. But yeah.
Now I would want to be an instant expert in functional medicine.
Right.
Alternative medicine. Yeah.
Dang, that's a good one.
I actually know somebody who's doing that right now.
Yeah. That's what I need. I need to take a break from schooling.
Girl, let me tell you. That's what my friend like, Britt, you should just go back for your master's or your PhD. I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It is a lot. And I have a lot of student loan debt that I don't want to talk about.
I don't want to talk about it. It's depressing.
It's depressing.
It's so depressing. It's a whole house.
Guys.
I could afford yes, my student loans are a home.
Yeah, let's change gear real quick, guys. Okay, so y'all know the election is coming, right?
Oh,
yes.
So we all know that we need some kind of change, right? Okay, so let's talk about that real quick.
I just feel like, I'm not an activist, right? But I try my best to do and speak on things that I passionately believe in. I just feel like people need to do more of like research, knowing who's in these seats. Like we need to go do the preliminary votes. Like we cannot just vote for the president because that it matters. Don't get me wrong, but we really gotta start from the beginning. Like we have to do these preliminary votes. We have to be registered to vote. A lot of people are not registered and a lot of people don't vote. You need to cast your vote because your voice needs to be heard. We need to sign petitions, email mayor's offices, whatever it is we could do. Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the type to go out and protest, and that's not the type of activism that I do. What I do it absolutely. You know, I just haven't been really active with it because we are in the middle of a pandemic. I have little children, I just try to take all of that into account. Yeah. But I think that's the first step. And social media is a big thing. We need to use social media as a tool and push it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Push it, let your voice be heard. Go vote. Right. Go vote.
Yeah. Yes, go vote.
Go vote.
Bottom line.
Period. Jasmine, what do you think about not just with voting too, but with just anything about change in general? Because I have something to say because I had a friend of mine who recently she told me that she was like, well, why do we need change? She said she told me her party or whatever. She said she's not struggling. She's not hurting. She's not, benefiting from anything that he's doing now anyways. Right. So she's not voting for, you know what I mean? So, and I'm like, she said, well, who do you vote? She said, you better not vote for Biden. That's what she told me. Lord. And then I'm like, wait, what?
So exhausted. So exhausted.
And I just and she was like, she don't need change. She said, we don't need change. She said, well, we have it. So, and I was like at the end of the day,
fix it.
Right. For her, it's like, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
I think that's ignorant, to be honest.
Thank you. That's what I said. And then her and I got off the phone and I ain't talked to her since then.
Well, you don't need to be conversing with her.
I hope you planted a nice little seed that like was different than, I'm sure she surrounds herself by most people who would, co-sign that thought, and hopefully where it starts to get her mind changed.
I mean, not just
people
that.
need to change their perspective
Mindset.
and the way they think. That's first thing. First thing first.
And what I've noticed lately is our culture has definitely become more and more like self-focused, and so people don't, especially with social media, it's like I take in like just it's a straight consumer culture, and so with that, having to try to figure out how other people feel, how one thing might affect someone else differently.
Exactly.
People aren't looking for that. Like, they don't care. And I mean, innately as humans, we're selfish. And so we have to work every day to like have our morals and ethics be higher than like who we are as like, creatures. And then on top of that, if you surround yourself by only people who have been in the same place as you've been, who have no other different experiences, only look like you, then you're not going to know that there's other perspectives out there, and it's going to be even harder for you to understand that somebody else's experience might be different. And
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, and so that's what I've been seeing more and more, is that people are like, well, I'm good. And it's like, but it's not about just you.
It's the world do not revolve around
you,
and also you'll probably be the first one crying when you're not good, and be like, why ain't anyone helping me out? What's wrong? Everyone's trash. And it's like, well, you were kind of trash last year. Right. So like, what would you like? And so that's what I honestly think the biggest issue is that people just have really lost the community aspect of like making sure everyone's good. Like, how can we pick everybody up, Right. And so that's part of it, and that's something that needs to change.
Right.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
That's crazy.
Like, I got off the phone and I'm like, what? Like, did this conversation just happen? Yeah.
There are a lot of friends that are being lost in this. In this last 7 months.
Yeah.
A lot of people have had to restructure their inner circle.
Right, definitely. Yeah, and
you know what?
I feel like that's where I'm heading.
Anything 2020 did for me, it was an eye opener.
Mm-hmm.
For real, it was really an eye opener.
Yeah, people that you thought might have been allies are definitely not.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and it just told the truth about like how America is built, like which I already knew how it was, but it was just like this year it's just an eye opener. It was like blatant disrespect. Like, oh, okay. So we basically like, we out here, we got to fight for our own self. We got to fight for ourselves. We got to like basically make our own way, basically. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I honestly think it boils down to people with their, like the way they think and their perspective on things. Like I said, like I was once before a judgmental person because I just didn't understand. But then once I start researching and I start like healing and like, healing from my childhood traumas and understanding my life, I was like, oh, it makes sense. Like, for example, like growing up in a household dysfunctional parents. It's like, dang, wait, hold up. My parents, they probably went through stuff. They probably had traumatic issues too. Like, how could they, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how could they be that support for me if they haven't had that support?
Yeah, that's right.
So it's like, you can't be angry and mad if somebody don't know no better and they doing the best that they can. So like, it took me a while to understand that. And it's like, yo, it's a lot of situations like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
A lot of situations like that. You know, some people just stuck in their ways and they think what they want to think. And you know what? Sayonara to you.
And it starts with like within, like you have to be willing to like change something in order for you to actually get results. Yeah. And if you're stuck in your way and doing the same thing over and over again, then nothing's gonna change.
That's it.
And anybody that got any type of mindset like that, please don't be around me because I don't got time. I don't even have the energy to even put you in your place because my energy needs to go somewhere else. So
I mean that's true.
That's really, really true. You don't argue with fools because you look like one.
Right. Like how you say, if you surround yourself with, like-minded people, then maybe you'll get different results.
Yes. Yep.
So
exactly.
Not everybody think the same. No. I always say that. Like I don't know if I've said this before on here, but we all have the same 24. I think I've told you about that. Yeah. Like we all have I said I was going to say it today, but I didn't know if I've said this before. We have the same 24 hours in a day to change something, to do something to better ourselves or just the world, period. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and if you don't do that, then don't get mad if something's not, if everything is still the same.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like too, I've talked to a lot of my friends lately, in this season about how like just everything's just so overwhelming.
Yep.
And so it's easy to get, almost feeling like overcome with like despair. Like there's no, what am I supposed to do? I'm this one person, like where do I play and try to make this change? And in talking to my friends, because I was just like, well, I'm not the one that's going to go out and be, I'm not like an activist. I don't also I don't really, sorry for the people, but I'm not going to really go out and march. Like that's not something for me. But I found that my lane is medicine, and lack of healthcare access and quality is a thing that is a thing. And that can be my way of playing a role.
Right.
And while it might not look as like fancy and pretty and get some good Instagram videos, it's still, that's my gifting. And I need to just stay in my lane and then do my best to support others. And so it's just like, but that took like a whole change in perspective too. Cause it's like, I don't have to take on the burden of this whole entire thing. Nope. So it's like, you can change, you can be the change that you wish to see. You just, it's not going to be, everything's not going to change.
Right.
You can't change everything. So find the thing that you can.
Exactly. I like when you said that, you staying in your lane. Cause I feel the same way too. Like I said, like, sometimes I wish I'm like, if it come down to it, I could be Malcolm X and be with the ish. I could be with it. Right. If it comes down to that, and it's like, do anything I need to do by any means necessary. Right. If it comes to that, absolutely, I'll do that. Especially for my family, I'll do that. But for me to like be the person that I am, and I just love like try to have some balance and some peace and stuff like that. Like I'm stay in my lane and do what I could do. Like I have a YouTube channel, so I posted a video on my opinion about Black Lives Matter and things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I push for Breonna Taylor. Yeah. I push for the Trayvon Martins and the Mike Browns and the Eric Gardners and the Alton Sterlings. Like, I speak about it. I'll say their names. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll voice, I'll voice it and say their names. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the type of person that I am. I'm doing my part. Like, so I'm just not like that to just go out and march and stuff like that. So I understand where you're coming from like that, like staying in your lane, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like my part is just, maybe I can just, be behind my phone and my computer, share a post, sign a petition on change.org, the YouTube, the podcast, even like, for example, like how you were saying, like, everything is not going to change. Right. You can do what you can do. And that's all we can do is do the best we can. For example, like my children's school was named after it was Daniel's Middle School. It was named after white supremacists.
They changed it. That's right.
And it's crazy because there was a petition going around and I signed a petition, and guess what? The next week the name was changed to Oberlin Middle School.
So
that right there was
a part of it. You were part of that change.
Exactly. So that was a small victory for me, and that made me feel hella good.
Right, exactly. And it didn't take that much effort.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where you're coming from, and I'm going to continue to do those little small steps so I can have some small victories, and I'll feel good about it.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And that's all that matters. We got to do what we could do, how we could do it. Yep. And like you said, it's overwhelming. It's too much. We can't change the world. No. We can't do it by ourselves. No. Especially with everybody everybody's like to themselves. Nobody want to collaborate and join. Everybody got their different perspectives on things, which is cool. Everybody can think what y'all could think, but we could agree to disagree. But what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Right. And that's just it. And some people
don't want to share. That's the thing. That's the problem. Like,
that's true.
They like going towards that, like just sharing your opinion with people, right? Or sharing something that is nobody wants to do that. Just people, like you say, some people just want to like go out there and like do something to change it. Right. But if you're not sharing those with other people, then they're all stuck.
That is true. I actually had a conversation with my parents about just how like y'all. I told them like y'all never talked about like the struggles you had as being Black in America growing up in this time of civil rights movement, and like you were young, and then you got to grow up with the whole like Civil Rights Act and Voting Act and all the wars. There were lots of wars and protests. Like you guys grew up with that, and affirmative action, all that stuff, and like y'all didn't talk about that. So when I grew up, like, I just thought this was how the world was.
Supposed to be.
And this is how it's supposed to be. And so when I, started having people make comments about me, like not deserving something because I'm Black, or, you know, why do you look like that? Why do you talk like that? Why are you bringing that to lunch? Like all those things, you know? And then it's like, okay, well, I mean, I know I might not look like you, but I also thought like every thing was an issue, right? And so I talked to my parents about it because I was like, why didn't y'all share that? And they're like, well, because we felt like the world was better. And so that like we went through it so that y'all didn't have to. And I'm like,
nah,
yeah,
still
just kind of, it's just simmering below the surface.
Just
and
brush under the rug.
Yeah. And now we're in a place where it's exploding again. And so my parents were like, yeah, we definitely did. Like they feel like their generation did a really big disservice to us because we're having to find this out in a very different way.
Yeah, just like the Tulsa, Oklahoma, like the racist massacre riot. Yeah. I'm not gonna say race riot because that's not what it was, because the story was
one race attacked another.
Exactly. Like to be honest, I didn't know anything about that. Like Black history is buried in our school system and it's disgusting. Like so now I'm having to like reteach my kids. They come home, Christopher Columbus. Now we ain't gonna do that. Like you get what I'm saying? So I gotta like, it's like they getting taught stuff in school and I have to like, it's crazy.
They do it under, you know, just so
the curriculum. I get, and I tell my kids, I'm like, listen, your teachers are human. They have a job. They have to do what they have to do. So I have to explain that to them. And I'm like, listen, this is what it is. And the good thing, you know, since I'm able to like, you know, go into work later, I heard their history teacher talking about like why the school name got changed. And they was talking about Black Lives Matter and racism and prejudice. I was like, okay, good. I was like, okay. Okay.
It's nice to know.
I was like, that is great. They was like, Mommy, look, they're talking about it. They're talking about it. And I'm like, oh, that's what's up. That made me feel good.
Right. And it makes them feel, you know, good too, because they're not dumb. Kids
my kids are definitely
so
not.
They know what's going on.
They know what's happening.
They know what's going on. So it feels good to like the same thing. My kids, they were talking about that in class. And then my son came like, Mom, like can you believe what we actually talked about? And I was like, oh wow. Like,
that's crazy.
And it's
nice.
Crazy.
It's crazy that it's crazy.
It's,
no,
right, you know, for a young child to like be so excited about that because of what's going on.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And then you know, when we was talking about like racism growing up and all of that, I was like, damn, I never really experienced. I'm like, wait, hold up, I did though. Yeah. I was systematically brought up in racism. I just didn't know because I went to school systems. I lived in project buildings. I was around people that looked like me. So it was a culture shock when I moved to North Carolina in my 9th grade. I think I was 10th grade. 10th grade, yeah. I was like, wait, where am I? Hold up. My high school in New York, I had to walk through and go through metal detectors.
Okay, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. When I went to Cary High.
Oh, that's not what's happening at Cary High.
I pulled up on a cheese bus. I see Mustangs, BMWs. I'm seeing people pulling up in Explorers.
Did you even go to school in buses? Like in a cheese bus?
In New York? No. We took the city bus.
Right, exactly. We didn't take the cheese bus. That's even a whole different thing. We took the city bus. We had to take the Green Line bus. We had a Metro card. If I missed the bus, I would have to like go on a train. It was totally different. And I'm like, it was a culture shock. And then I'm seeing a lot of interracial dating, and I'm like, wait, hold up. Like what's happening?
I was like low-key confused. I swear I was low-key confused. Like, I swear I was low-key confused. So, like, now it's a different world to me. Right. So now I'm like, okay. Like, okay. Like, it was a little confusing. I'm not gonna lie.
Do here.
Right. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. You know, interracial dating, that's gonna be a whole nother episode for a whole nother time. Yeah. But, you know, love is love. You know, people can love who they love and all that. But, you know, like, I came from Black love, even though my mother and father is not together. And, like, you know, they went through their issues and stuff. But I'm going to encourage my children, listen, I'm your mother. Like, you need to love on me and you need to love another Black woman. Like, Black women are going to understand you and going to take care of you. Not saying that other races wouldn't, but I'm going to encourage Black love on my children because I feel like Black love is very essential.
Black love is beautiful.
So,
I love Black love.
I had to get that
out. Black love matters.
Right, Black love matters. No, it really does. But yeah, so I also wanted to touch on the Breonna Taylor verdict. It came out yesterday, and I seen something on social media where back in 1955 on September 23rd, Emmett Till, the prosecutors, they basically was acquitted.
Yeah.
The people was acquitted or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that right? Prosecutors? Did I say that right?
The prosecutor.
I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
legal.
it is.
I don't know the legal terms neither. I'm sorry. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a paralegal. Like,
don't watch enough SUV.
The people that were on the trial for Emmett Till's horrible death, they were acquitted. And this was how many? 1955 to 2020. What is that? How many years is that?
A long time.
It's a lot of years.
A lot of years.
It's over some decades.
Right.
Get out your calculator and calculate.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, the same thing happened with Breonna Taylor. Like, do y'all think that's a coincidence? Like, what do y'all think? What do y'all think that is? Like, I'm low key
honestly
speechless.
Yeah, I'm speechless. It's been on the news, like, I guess since yesterday, and that's, working today. That's all I've been seeing all day, every day, and I'm just like, it's just sad.
It's sad. It's disgusting.
It's
like, it just made me think, like, yo, like, black women are really not protected.
No.
Granted, the black man isn't either.
Right.
But this situation, how they basically charged one of the officers and said that they charged him for endangering the neighbors.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
I was like, they should have just... That was just like adding salt to an
open wound. Exactly. Yeah. It really was. And then I seen a lot of people, our community too, we got to do better. Like, because I seen a lot of posts and comments saying, oh, did her family just settle for the $12 million? Like, oh my God, like, why did she just take the money? First of all, y'all gotta understand something. Like, yo, like, do you understand what this woman done went through?
Right. Yeah.
Like, y'all gotta understand. Like, and then I'm hearing, like I said, like, y'all can fact check me on this because this is what I'm seeing on social media. Like, I heard that this was like the largest settlement ever because they don't really pay off people that much money. Like the Corinne Gaines, the girl that basically they ran into her house and she had her baby in her hand, shot and killed her. They were supposed to pay her family off too. They never received their money for it. Like, you get what I'm saying? So it's just a lot. Like I said, y'all can do your own research on this and y'all can fact check me. Y'all can make a comment down below if I'm wrong. But from what I was listening to, Tamika D. Mallory, she's an activist. She's an activist on the Breonna Taylor case. I follow her on Instagram and I tune into her lives, and she was going in talking about some information, and she basically was saying like, yo, like, they just didn't accept this money. They also put like other plans into this package deal. Like they basically had like laws and like they basically changed some laws. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like they just accepted the money. Like, you don't know what her mother been through. Right. Like, you don't know the sleep that she lost. Like, we gotta chill. Yeah. We gotta chill with that. Like, we need to be uplifting. Yeah. Uplifting our that family and like sending prayers and condolences. Like, all that negative stuff, y'all gotta chill. Like, that was unnecessary. Like, y'all don't know what that family been through, and they are still fighting. Yeah. Like, y'all don't know. Like, they still fighting. They're
never getting their daughter back.
Right. Never getting. No matter how much money you can pay. Like, they can't bring Breonna back, man.
Right. It's like they're never so yeah, I don't understand like the negativity and the judgment.
I don't know. That joint whack.
Frustrating, but
it's very whack.
We're all exhausted and tired. So it's like, I guess I don't understand, because I'm like, I literally woke up yesterday just like exhausted. I don't even know if I want to interact.
Yeah.
Please let me just sit here and be in my own bubble. Like, it just, there's no words. I don't know how people have time to or the energy to even spew negativity when we're all just so sad and I'm tired.
I'm exhausted, and I want to just give a shout out to Tamika D. Mallory, to Portia Williams, and to Yandy Smith, because they was on Daniel Cameron. I think that's the Attorney General. They basically got arrested, and he charged them with felony charges.
What?
Because you ain't know that?
I have been trying to limit my.
They was sitting on that man's front lawn because they basically wanted them officers arrested, and he didn't do it, and he basically didn't really have anything to say. Like, so everybody is like jumping on his case because like he is friends with Trump, and like he's basically
the Kentucky that guy.
Yeah.
I also heard that his wife is the granddaughter of Mitch McConnell, and then I was like, it all makes sense.
Yeah, but that's what people are saying. I don't know how true it is, but I don't know how true it is.
That's what the streets are saying.
Yeah, I don't know like how true it is, but the fact that like you're a black man,
get out of here. I don't
get out of here. Like, that joint is disgusting. I'm just sorry, y'all need to go vote. Early voting starts October 15th to the end of October 31st. Yes. Please go vote. Please.
Yeah, I really hope there's long lines like the first day. Me too.
I'm going early in the morning. Yep. And I just got an email from work. They are allowing some employees to use time to go vote. So you better talk with your manager. If you need time or you need to leave work early, y'all go vote, because this is ridiculous. Like, we got to get this orange piece of you know what out of office. Period. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we got to get him out of office. We need change. Change starts with the president of America. Change. Period.
That's amazing.
I'm sorry. I just had to let that out, because I've been holding that in all week.
I cannot.
I mean,
well, she's right.
She's right. And it's pretty much the trashiest administration I've ever heard.
I mean, I'm sorry. I had to get it out, because I don't know. I'm sad. My heart is broken. Yeah. I'm overwhelmed. Yeah. I feel bad for Breonna Taylor's mom. I feel bad for her boyfriend. I feel bad for her family. I feel bad for all the people that hasn't been out marching, being activists for this case, and nothing came. Well, I'm not gonna say nothing came from it, because some things did come from it. We just didn't. Right. The seeds were planted, so we got to keep going. We got to keep watering those plants, so that way more things could come from it. You know what I'm saying? We're not done. The work is not done.
It's a marathon. It's not
exactly. Like Nipsey said, the marathon continues. Like, we gotta keep pushing. Like Tamika said, she said, "Yo, when we vote and Biden and Kamala get in office, we got to do the same thing. We got to do the same thing. We got to still march. Amen. We got to still do the same things that we're doing."
Yes, and like you mentioned earlier, like local elections are like so important because yes, the president of the United States does make a lot of, and Congress does make a lot of decisions. I mean, especially you saw 45 is going to probably be able to put in 3 different Supreme Court justices, and that changes lots of laws for generations, but a lot of the impact that people are really looking to see is going to be in your community with your local governments, with your mayor, with your city council, with the governor. So people definitely got to get out and vote. And this is also a big year too, because our governor is up for and then also we have a Senate seat a huge Senate seat that is up for election. Yeah, and so let's try to make some moves, y'all, because the current senators leave a lot to be desired.
Right.
Yes. Personally, for my views.
Right. And don't say your vote don't count, because it do count. Like,
I listened on the news on the radio show today, and someone was like, if the people are working this hard to suppress your vote, then obviously it's that important. Like, they're making all this legislation for people. They're spreading all this fake news. They're telling you can vote by mail, you can't vote by mail. It might not be counted, may be counted, just to scare people. Obviously, they're trying to divert you off of the right path. That means you're important.
Right. And then I also heard talking about, you can vote twice. Like, don't listen to. He told people that they can mail in vote. That's orange guy. He basically telling people they can do mail in votes, and y'all, that is a felony. Okay, if y'all don't know, don't do that. Go listen. Me personally, I don't even trust the mail in votes. I ain't mailing in nothing. I'm going to stand online, and I'm going to make sure my paper go into the little machine and get my
do your research too before you go. Do your research. Don't just go in there, walking in there,
just bubbling in stuff. Please know who you're voting for, because it's not like how it used to be where you could just vote straight Democrat or Republican,
all jumbled up.
Yeah, y'all really have to know.
That's the reason.
Right, that's another reason.
It's another reason. Y'all really, please, y'all. I'm begging y'all to go vote. Make sure y'all know who y'all voting for. Your voice matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Period.
It does.
Period.
Amen.
I know that was heavy.
Right.
It was heavy. It really was. But you know what? This information needs to be said.
Yeah,
it needs to. We right now feel in the midst of this pandemic, it's low key a crisis.
It is. There's crisis on crisis on crisis.
So
it's a lot. But people, I just don't like how a lot of the information is just making people that are already disenfranchised feel more disenfranchised, and make people who already don't feel like they have a say or a vote or a way to move. And it's you got to register to vote and get out and vote. You do have a voice. Your voice matters. You're important. Go do it. Whatever God put in you and whatever your gifting is to go be able to bring good to this world. Do it. Just do it.
Use your voice.
Yes.
That's it.
And change the world. Okay.
Yes.
We need the change.
We need more change makers.
Right.
Absolutely.
Positive change.
Change makers.
Definitely.
Positive change.
Absolutely.
Whew, that was a lot,
that
y'all.
was a lot.
That was a lot. That was
It was
a
a good
lot.
conversation, though.
That was a lot.
Jasmine, do you have anything you want to add or?
This was a very good conversation. I'm glad to be a part of it, and left with some good morsels. Thank you.
All right, Christelle, do you want to leave off with anything, a positive tip?
Well, I just want to say keep going no matter what. And like Brittany always said, the marathon continues. So just take it one day at a time and just keep going. Yeah. Any quotes you want to leave?
I mean, you said everything. I agree with you. Like, we got to keep going no matter what. Take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
Any advice you want to leave?
Yeah, I mean, I think don't listen to what the people say, but learn what's inside of you and learn what gifts and talents you have, and believe that you have there was something that was put inside of you to leave a positive mark on this world, and so go do it. Yeah.
I know that's right. Well, thank you so much, Jasmine, for coming and spending your evening with us.
Yeah.
We appreciate your presence. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to Love Life After. We could be reached your inbox at love.lifeafter on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you would like to get any advice from us, you can email us at lovelifeafter18@gmail.com. And I also noticed y'all have not been doing them hashtags. What's going on, y'all? So hashtag Love Life After, hashtag Take Your Time, but don't waste your time. Y'all do those hashtags in the comments on our YouTube. Y'all can even email it to us as well if you don't want to drop it down in the comments below. And we will basically talk about your hashtag on the next episode. So yeah, guys, it's Love Life After. Thank you, and we out.
I know I'm addicted.